Hello everyone, here Daniel from Algeciras. We are here at the Plaza Alta, and there is the church of Nuestra Señora de la Palma, and over there we have the chapel of the Nuestra Señora de Europa. That means it's our Mary of Europe, and that's what we're talking now a little bit about history and this story we have here on this to sit, a bench to sit, and there is with this azulejos. It is a story here. So with pictures we can see this here is telling us a story. And what story is it? It is the story of Don Quixote de la Mancha, and here you can see Cervantes, if I'm not wrong, that supposedly wrote this story. Here you have the symbol here from Don Quixote. Here this would be Sancho Pancho, if I'm not wrong also here, and this would be Don Quixote. So the story is here in pictures. So it starts here with a man here, this Don Quixote, before he's a Don. So I just telling you from my perspective a little bit that everyone can see this their own way. There's a dog, like a starving dog, and he also looks like he has no money, and he's not in a bad shape, not in a good shape. And here he's like reading something, and then here he's having a sword in his hand, and supposedly he's then a knight suddenly. So what is the story? That he pretended that he is a knight because he read about the knights, and so he wanted to be a knight, and somehow he became then a knight because people, you see here, he got a horse, he came out with the whole armor and all this, so the people thought he was a knight. So then also things happen with here he's drinking something, some kind of a booze. Here he's drinking with a pipe. Actually he's drinking this with a pipe. Here you see him with the sword, and something happened here. Someone like laying on the ground, and he's there like the hero who's getting here. He gets a knight here officially somehow. I don't know who is this. He looks like a woman here, and he's coming out there as an official knight, and then he does the knight stuff, and then he continues on the other side, which is very good for us now because the sun is here. We see it better maybe. That he goes there on the countryside, and he also fights against people, and suddenly he's there. Also there is the church involved, like there is some books, and then here they burn these books, and here is something strange also going on, and here as well. So this looks like some, how should I say, some occult stuff, huh? But you can, I have my idea and my my knowledge about what is happening here, but everyone can discover by themselves. This must be Sancho Pancho, this must be Don Quixote here, Sancho Pancho somehow here lying on the floor, and they're here again. This story here, now it's getting interesting because we have this with the windmills. The windmills, imagine if Don Quixote is known for something, then it is that he fought against the windmills, right? So what it is all about, we get to this later on. Here you have like this dramatic scene, and also some like funny stuff, and in the end it ends drastic. It ends very strange, with like killing sheeps from a horse or something. Okay, So just now that you see, this is the Plaza Alta, and you have here everywhere this azulejos telling you this story from Don Quixote, and this is a more ancient thing. And now here you have the modern side of Algeciras, and it's saying that Algeciras is ilusionante, so that means it is an illusion in a way. So we are here telling about this Don Quixote story. So what this is all about, because Don Quixote is very important for the Spanish culture. It is must be the most printed story in Spain after the Bible, and so it is must be Cervantes, who is also a very important figure. He's even on the Spanish coin, on the euro. It's not the Spanish coin, but the Spanish version of the euro has Cervantes there. And so what is this a historical fact with Don Quixote? No, for sure not. It's a legend, but where is it based on? Like, what is it all about? So we know that he was not really a knight, but he made himself a knight. He pretended to be, and then he fought against windmills. And yeah, what is the whole moral? What is the whole, why, and how is it linked to the church anyway? Why is it always linked to the church? And why now it's the Semana Santa again? We are now past 1 year when we were in Ceuta, and we documented there the Semana Santa. Again, this is we have many hermandades, so brotherhoods of the Nostra Senora de Europa, La Palma, de la Africa, all this. So you have so many divinities. So you have all these divinities. So that means it is like every town here has his brotherhood, and they have their Holy Mary in this, their own one. Like it's like in India, okay? That you everywhere has several divinities. So, but the Nuestra Senora de Europa, it's a divinity. So Europe, it's a divinity they made. It must be also like maybe started with historical figure, like this princess from Greece, who would be linked to that. You know, like also have always a historical figure, where is then made a legend out of it. Okay, so you have everywhere. So even Europe, like I say, Europe is not a continent because it's geographically not geologically not a continent. It is a fantasy of some people which do this cult. They have this tradition. So this tradition of the, let's say the Roman tradition, Babylonian tradition, it's then they made the Catholic Church out of it, and so yeah, Don Quixote would be based also on a real figure, which would be I put myself into the light, out of the dark into the light, that you see my face better, and yes, this would be Ignacio de Loyola. So this would be the founder of the Jesuit order. Who, what did he do? Yeah, it was, the peninsula was being reconquered, like conquered by the church, and so there was this plan from Ignacio de Loyola to get the black Africans, use them as slaves, and so who was he? He was a kind of he was from Basque nobility, they say, but yeah, now remember the story of Don Quixote. What kind of nobility is that? Huh? So he was like more like a wizard and a hypnotizer, right? So he was not he was not a good person, right? So he founded the Jesuit order, which in the beginning would be called Los Ilumbrados, and then the Society of Jesus and all this stuff. But it's the Jesuit order. So all this is a Jesuit thing here in Spain and everywhere where it's Catholic, and the whole colonization with the church is Jesuit. So the whole Latin America is a Jesuit invention. It's all But so the Don Quixote thing is also Jesuit kind of yeah, witchcraft. It's true, unfortunately. But this has all to do that Ignacio de Loyola had this plan against the Africans, against the, let's say, against the original story. So because Europe, let's say Rome and all, they would always pretend to be Christians, pretend to be this, that, but they're in fact not. So they would have to hide the real stuff, the real story, you know, the real Christian history, which is from Africa. And so that's why they had to expel, let's say, the Africans out of Europe, or let's say forbid their culture. It's not that they could, because the genetics here on the peninsula, it's based on, it's African, you know. It's not a big difference between the people from North Africa than here, the genetics. If you go to Portugal and you go to Morocco, you see the people look alike. Yeah, and if you know the story, you know that's the same people. So what they and the culture also, the whole culture of humanity, it's coming from Africa anyway. So they supremacists, let's say this has all to do with this reconquest and the colonization and the slave trade and going to America and all this. So he would fight, so Ignacio de Loyola at the time would fight against what? Against the Moors, against the, let's say, the Moorish, the African, the Islamic, the Oriental culture. He would fight against that because he would have to hide this. Because yeah, the Jesuits, they are known to travel all over the world and learn from all these tribes and old cultures, but then they use it for themselves, and then they kill the people and use the knowledge for themselves to gain, like, yeah, power in the material world. What is another very good thing to do. Now what happened is that you have the Africans, Al-Andalus, so they put everywhere the windmills, because they were big scientists and alchemists, and they knew very good about the energies, about the winds, about nature, the science of nature. And there were Sufi tradition a lot, and so they would have these windmills on top of the hills to grind grains and to make flours and to make bread, and all with free energy, with the wind and with the geometry. And so they knew what they did. They work with nature. So Ignacio de Loyola now, he would make them, he would have to fight against the windmills. You know, you understand that he would fight this culture. He come with the anti-culture, and he has to fight the culture, because culture, Kultur, it's in German Urkult. It's an ancient cult. Again, it's an ancient cult which they came with a new cult, and so they have to get rid of the ancient cult so that the people don't know about it. So Ignacio Loyola would then go everywhere on these hills, and you can see this because it's called Don Quixote de la Mancha. It's Castilla de la Mancha. This is a region here in Spain, and there everywhere you can see these hills, and there must be yeah, and everywhere you have these statues, these crosses from what? From the Jesuits, because Ignacio Loyola and his brotherhood and all these people, they would make the energy manipulation in a way. They would go to these hills where is the windmills, and they would destroy them, or they would put their, you know, dominion over there. So, and this is all actually reflecting in these stories, in this yeah, the fairy tales, legends, and this, but it all has always a true origin. So you must know the true origin. You must know the original, that you can see where is the copy. And as you can see here again, Al Jazeera now is here saying that they're very illusionary, let's say. Not it's not saying Al Jazeera is flippante, or is it illusionante, whatever. It's an illusion. They pretend that they have infinite money, so they make everything new now here in Europe, everything new, And yeah, but at the end, for the people and for the poor people and for the Africans, it's nothing. And that's what we're working on. We're still here looking how we can get now out of Europe. That means go to Portugal to get the national passports. And this costs a lot of money, and the gas oil and all with this inflation and everything. It's yeah. So everyone has money problems now, and yeah, the church and the government, they know how to react, and it's very funny to see. But again, we are here, keep you updated, and thank you very much for watching this.